because we have a bunch of cards to take a look at that I haven't been here for over the last couple of days. And we're starting things off with a banger here. This is a card that made me really happy, and I haven't even read its effect yet. I looked at it and I thought it was awesome, and I even tweeted about it, but I haven't read the effect yet because the picture I saw was this, and it was in Japanese, of course, but I just appreciated the artwork. And this is something, you guys are going to call me an unk for this again, and that's okay. But as someone who really picked up competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since basically the beginning, like 2003, 2004. But like, I went to my first locals in 2005 as a 10-year-old. The first time I really picked up competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Was around 2008, 2009. So Dark Armed Dragon is one of the most, if not the most iconic competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Card to me from the early days. Even though I never got to play Teledad myself back then because it was hella expensive, and I was 13 years old when Teledad was a thing. But around like 2009, 2010, like when it eventually got reprinted and it was limited, so it wasn't that hard to get hold of a copy of it. Like I would play it in a lot of my decks back then. It was one of my favorite cards to play, and it's just one of like. I feel like I'm not alone with this, but I think most people who played back then will understand what I'm talking about. Like Dark Armed Dragon is one of the most iconic like Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever from a competitive standpoint. So this thing makes me really happy. This thing makes me really, really happy. This is an awesome looking overframe, and I'm so happy. It's basically, it makes me feel the same way I felt about the Gore's overframe. Like I'm so happy that they start doing this exact thing, where they lean into, it's no longer just nostalgia like anime bait, like, oh, just here's more Dark Magician, here's more Red Eyes, here's more Blue Eyes, because I understand people like that. I understand people are fans of that sort of stuff. I personally am not that much into the anime cards themselves. I love the competitive aspect of this game, and I always did, and these cards are more iconic to me than like the anime cards. So this is awesome to me. Let's read it though, because I haven't yet. I only looked at the picture and that already made me happy. Level 7 Dark Dragon, Dark Armed Dragon stats obviously cannot be normal or summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by having exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon a level 6 or lower dark monster from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except dark monsters. During the main phase quick effect, you can banish up to 3 dark monsters from your graveyard, then target an equal number of cards on the field, destroy them. Okay. So they have turned this into a quick effect, which I feel like was necessary if you wanted to make a card like Dark Armed Dragon playable again, as crazy as that sounds. That is a pretty sizable interruption. Up to 3 pops is not bad. Banish 3 Malice. Okay, calm down, all right? Banish 3 Malice is crazy work. Okay, now the thing is, this card unfortunately falls into a category of cards that is no longer super popular in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I would say, which is the main deck like endboard piece boss monster, right? Like back in the day, that was one of the most iconic things that they could give to a deck. You know, a lot of decks would end up getting like a main deck sort of like boss monster, like your Dark Armed Dragon, Judgment Dragon, Christia, Master, what's the agent one called? Master Hyperion. Like that was like the thing back then, right? Like the decks would get like a main deck boss monster, right? But those cards obviously always had the chance to be dead in your hand, you know, like Lightsworn's Judgment Dragon was a dead card until you found 4 Lightsworns in your grave and stuff like that, right? And so in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of decks will prefer to summon their boss monsters from the extra deck. And if ever there is a card that's a main deck boss monster, it's often regarded to as a brick and like basically demoted to like a one of. Like Snake Eyes Flamberous Dragon is something that someone mentioned in chat right now. Like, yeah, those sort of cards, right? This thing, however, does have an ability when it's in hand. When you do draw this card, it does do something. It's not a completely dead card until you can summon it, at least, right? It does let you summon a level 6 or lower dark from your hand, which is not insane, but it's also gonna come in handy sometimes, you know? Like, sometimes you get interrupted, you need that extension from hand, and it's okay. So the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, since it's a level 7 Dark Dragon that summons level 6 or lower Darks from hand, Dragon Link comes to mind. And Dragon Link, here's a few things. First of all, this card is super searchable in Dragon Link, right? Because you can... the new rocket searches level 7 Dark Dragons, right? It searches cards like Absa Router, and previously people would play like a Nocto Vision or something that you can search. And this is also just a level 7 Dark Dragon that you can add, which is actually, I feel like that's actually helpful for Dragon Link, because this card gives Dragon Link something that you can just add to your board when you get Fubat, right? Like, if that used to be a huge problem in Dragon Link. Like, what do you do if you get hit with Fuba? This is at least something you can do that doesn't give a draw under Fuba, and it's a potentially triple pop. Not too bad, you know? That's not too shabby. And when you draw it, it still is an extender at the end of the day. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world to have this that can summon one more card from your hand, right? Other examples, like, I don't know, someone in chat mentioned Orchist, which I could see, because Orchist is traditionally a deck with a lot of normal summons that you are trying to discard with, like, the new Galatea, right? Like, let's say you normal summon Girsu, and then you get interrupted, and your opponent throws some removal at you. Then you can special, like, a Harp Horror from your hand. That could be useful. Realistically, however, I think the quality of this card is probably not good enough to just make it like a 3-of in a deck. I think this is going to be primarily be played in decks that can search it. Like, I think Dragon Link would definitely play this. The OCG does have Eclipse Wyvern, which is a good point. That makes it more searchable. I don't know if we are ever going to get Eclipse Wyvern in the TCG, but yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this card is usable. It's not crazy, but I also, the way I feel about this card, to me, this does not matter. To me, genuinely, how good this card is does not matter. I would have loved this card even if it was the worst effect in the world. Like, I just love this guy already. I don't even care, dude. This card could have said, like, add 1 Malice P Dormouse from your deck to your hand. I would have still liked it. I don't care. Like, this is just, as a fellow Ankh duelist, like, I just love the artwork on this card. Is all there is to it. In terms of how good is it, probably a 1-of in Dragon Link decks. Fine. Put it in your cube. Sure, there's other ways to enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Where this card is obviously a lot better. In, like, cube and draft environments or anything sealed, limited, Genesis maybe. Like, there's basically everywhere where there's a lower power level, this card is infinitely better. But yeah, in terms of advanced constructed, probably a solid 1-of in Dragon Link. Not sure if it's gonna see play anywhere else, but yeah. Awesome card. Absolutely awesome card. I love it. The only bad thing about the artwork is the drills in his knees. I'm pretty sure Dark Arm Dragon had those though. I think this is literally Dark Arm Dragon in just a different pose. Or did Dark Arm Dragon not have those? Yeah, Dark Arm Dragon had those. This is just Dark Arm Dragon. Such a cool card, man. Oh my god. It was Secret Rare, Phantom Darkness, Dark Arm Dragon is one of the most beautiful cards they've ever made, man. You cannot change my mind on that. Will you get him in Overframe Starlight? I mean, it depends. It depends how expensive it'll be, but I would love to own one of these in Starlight. Yeah, I would love to have one of those. But we'll see. We'll see how much it is or how hard it is to pull, maybe. Because this is in the utility selection, right? So we don't even know exactly when we get these cards. This is not Beyond the Brave. We have a couple other cards from Beyond the Brave coming up, but this one is not from Beyond the Brave. OG Dark Armed still cooler though. Yeah, I mean, but OG Dark Armed already existed, right? They're just making more cool stuff, which is nice, isn't it? Like, yeah, I don't for me as well. Like the overframe Starlight Rare version of this card for me is not gonna beat like the looks of a like Secret Rare Phantom Darkness Dark Armed Dragon. Will you get the serialized version of this card? I don't think there is going to be a serialized version. Have they announced that? Did I miss that? Is there serialized cards in utility selection? No, right? I do think eventually we are going to get more serialized cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I mean, just judging by this is just common sense, I feel like, how well the Grandmaster set was received in the OCG. I'm sure they made so much money off of it. Eventually we're gonna get Grandmasters again. At the same time, I will say I hope that they're a little careful with it, because I feel like this is the sort of thing that is only really hype if you don't overdo it. Like if every single set has like Grandmasters, I feel like it starts becoming less like cool. I don't know. But even though this card, to answer your question somewhat still, for me personally, this card would be cooler as a Grandmaster than any other Grandmaster they've made. Like, and that's what I mean. For me as a competitive player, cards like Dark Armed Dragon are more iconic than any of the other cards that they've put into the Grandmaster sets. Like, and that's also the reason why my favorite Grandmaster Rare, the one, if I could own one of the Grandmasters, ignoring the value or anything like that, I would pick the Cyber Dragon. I would pick the Cyber Dragon or the Stardust Dragon. Those two, because they're the by far most iconic ones in terms of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the Cyber Dragon, the Stardust Dragon, or maybe the Future Fusion. Those are like the three big ones from a competitive perspective, I feel like. So those are my favorite Grandmasters, I think. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head right now. Maybe I'm missing one, but those are like... For me, that is cooler than, like, oh, here's Dark Magician Girl. Or Dark Magician. Because those cards, I know they're iconic for fans of the anime, but for fans of the competitive game, they're not that iconic. Because they never really saw play.